Hello and welcome to week 8, day 3 of our reading, research, and writing. This is Miss Rosie and today we'll be doing our second read, Reread for comprehension and gathering information. Our objective for today is, today you will reread and annotate the texts George Washington and Barack Obama to gather evidence and information on a graphic organizer in order to compare these two important leaders. Before we begin, let's double check what is annotating. Annotating is marking important information in our text. In order to mark important information, you can underline the information, you can highlight the information, or you can make a star next to the information. For today, I'm going to be using a star so you can easily see what I'm looking at. Our goal for today is that we are going to reread George Washington and Barack Obama. While reading, make sure you're annotating what makes them a leader. I will annotate a couple of examples, but I will not annotate every example. Make sure that you are annotating in your own packet. Let's start with George Washington. Introduction. George Washington was the first president of the United States. He was born in Virginia in 1732. He grew up on a farm. George went to school for a short time, but he mostly studied at home. I think I've already found something important that makes George Washington a leader. I see that he was the first president of the United States. The President of the United States is our country's leader. So I'm going to star that so that I remember it when I come back to this reading later. Early life. George began working as a surveyor at age 16. In 1759, George married Martha Custis. She and her 2 children came to live with George. They lived at his plantation called Mount Vernon. Life's work. The Revolutionary War began in 1775. George led the army of American colonists. They fought and won against Great Britain. In 1787, George led a group to form the government of the new United States of America. Oh, in that paragraph, I saw something else that I can use for later. George led the army of American colonists. Right there, it tells me that he was a leader. He led a group of people called an army. So I'm going to annotate that with my little star. Later years. In 1789, George was elected the first U.S. president. He helped plan the capital city, Washington, D.C., which was named for him. George was president for 8 years. Many people wanted him to serve longer, but he said no. After serving as president, George went home to Mount Vernon. He died in 1799. George fought for and helped to shape the United States. Americans remember him as the father of his country. If you need more time to go back and reread so you can annotate your work and look for all of the places that it talks about how George Washington was a leader, pause the video to give yourself more time. Now, let's reread Barack Obama. Introduction. Barack Obama was the first Black president of the United States. He was born on August 4th, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii. His mother, Ann Dunham, was from Kansas. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was from Kenya. Oh, I think I see something I want to annotate already. Barack Obama was the first Black president of the United States. Remember what I said with George Washington? That being the president means you're the leader of the United States? Education. Barack went to school in Honolulu, Hawaii, and in Jakarta, Indonesia. He went to college at Columbia University and graduated in 1983. In 1988, he went to Harvard Law School. Work and family. Barack moved to Chicago when he finished school. He met a lawyer named Michelle Robinson. Barack and Michelle were married in 1992. Their daughters, Malaya and Natasha, were born in 1998 and 2001. Life's work. Barack decided to help others by working in politics. In 1996, he was elected to the Illinois State Senate. In 2004, Barack became a U.S. Senator. He was elected U.S. President in 2008 and again in 2012. Contributions. In his first years as president, Obama passed a new health care bill. It provided better care for the poor. In 2009, he won a Nobel Peace Prize. As the first Black president, he inspired all people to work toward their dreams. I see something else about Barack Obama that I'd like to annotate. I'd like to mark and remember that he passed a new health care bill and that it provided better care for the poor. Remember, I am annotating so that when I come back, I can easily find the places where I thought Barack was a great leader. Now, turn to this page in your packet. This is called a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram is a graphic organizer that we use to compare two things. On the left side, I'm going to write things about George Washington. On the right side, I will write things about Barack Obama. And in the center, I will write things that are true about both people. So remember, on the left side, I write things that are true about George Washington. On the right, I write things that are true about Barack Obama. And in the center, I write things that are true about both of them. Let me give you an example. I annotated that George led the army of American colonists. I don't remember Barack Obama leading an army of American colonists, so on my left side, George Washington's side, I can write President George Washington led an army during the Revolutionary War. On my right side, I annotated that Barack Obama helped pass a new health care bill that provided better care for the poor. I don't remember George Washington doing that. So on President Obama's side, I can say President Obama helped poor people by giving them better health care. However, in both of their readings, I made sure to annotate that both of them were the first president of some kind. George Washington was the first president of the United States, and Barack Obama was the first Black president of the United States. So I said both presidents were the first and inspired others. Now it's your turn. On your left side, write information you know about George Washington. On the right side, write information you know about Barack Obama. And in the middle, write what you know about both of them.